Alright, so let's get started. We're going to make a simple API here to get started in the first of several videos to show you how to build an API working prototype. We're going to start with saying create a project by clicking on this icon right here, and we're going to call this our portfolio managers. Let's say portfolio manager. And we will manage stocks in a portfolio. We don't have anything to import here. There's a couple of different options, so we're just going to create a new project from the start. So the first couple of APIs we're going to put in, we're going to add a path for managing stocks and managing portfolios. So I'm going to go and show you two different ways. One is to just show if we already had our JSON. So I want a path called portfolios. It's going to return a collection of portfolios. You can click single or multiple. And I don't have a resource yet. A resource just defines what the portfolio resource is. So I'm really just going to keep this to be a name and a description, which is, let's say, an example of our portfolio will be my tech stocks, and this will contain a portfolio of all the ones that I like, and this will be a description of all my favorite tech stocks, and we'll fix this quote here. So if I enter in the JSON, what that will do is automatically parse through the JSON and create a resource, and I'll show you that. And we're going to call this JSON resource to be portfolio. So we're going to create a path called portfolios, and our resource is portfolio. And the nice thing about saving this is I can now come in and use this in other paths, so it's reusable. So I'm going to click save, and you'll see that there's my portfolios, and you'll see I will have a resource called portfolio. And I can come in and I can add more properties. I can give it descriptions, and you'll notice it sets up immediately for a get, a post, get, put, delete. It gives you a little example of what it looks like right here. And error handling, we'll do that in later videos. Lots of docs that I can just pick from right away and run. But let's create one more path, and this is for our stocks. And I don't have a stock resource yet, so I'm going to do the other way of creating this path. I'm going to create a stock resource, and I go a stock is in a portfolio. And I'm going to use the form builder. So I'm going to add one that's called name, and I'm going to call this the ticker symbol. And I'm going to say the exchange, and let's go with that for now. And I'm going to call this name, ticker, and exchange. And that will add in my resource, and you'll notice automatically stocks, a path was created. Just for convenience, I can delete it. So now I have two paths. So anytime you sort of want to check this and see what it's like and try it out, you click to deploy to cloud. So that will take my two portfolios, or my portfolio, my stock paths, and I'm going to deploy it to the cloud. And I'm going to call this my beta 1. And we're going to keep the defaults here. So I'm going to deploy a GraphQL endpoint as well, and that sits on top of the REST calls. I can do portfolios and stocks. So I'm going to deploy. And now you'll see this is all the information. So the API is deployed, and if you want to give an example of the paths, you'll see right here. Portfolios, that's my URL. Make sure you add in the endpoint key for accessing these URLs. So if I grab this, and I'm going to grab this API, and then I'm going to create a new console just to be able to show you. Let me just create one here, and I will drag this over. So you'll see, if I paste that in and I'm going to say API, I'm going to go portfolios. So you see that's using my curl statement, and there I have it. So there's my portfolio text statement. I can create more portfolios. I can do deletes, updates, whichever I need. So that is our first example of building and designing and building an API and deploying it to a cloud. And remember, add in your endpoint key. That is the key to accessing all your calls. Thank you.